What's going on, guys? It's Scotty Hobbs. Happy Tuesday morning. I'm excited. My hands are going all over the place, and they're not supposed to be really going all over the place because of the procedure I have. But I have something I want to share with you guys. Yesterday, I went and watched the movie Sing with my four oldest kids and my beautiful wife, Gabby. And when we were watching the movie, there was a specific part that really stood out to me. And it's when the elephant at the end was going to sing her performance at the end. And the little mouse, sorry, I'm horrible with names, but he comes out and he just says, just sing, just start singing. And because she was scared, she was nervous about what to say, and he told her just to start singing. She started singing, sharing her talent, and at the end she's like flying all over the place, jumping on the stage, and did an amazing performance. And it really stuck out to me because, specifically this morning, it's like amazing how you can learn lessons through movies, through books, through things you hear. This morning, I was sitting here in my room and I paced back and forth, and I was like, I want to talk about anger. And I kept going to push the live button, and I never pushed it. And so I said, I thought of that example, just sing. And so I just started talking, and I pushed it, just started talking. So we're here now. And I'm glad you guys are here with me. If you're on this video, please share with me if you're here. Specifically, if you're on here with me and you have a child or you're a parent, please comment below because this is specifically about a child. So, more recently, one of my daughters, I'm not going to name which specific one, has been getting very angry, has been getting very mad every single day to where it's almost uncontrollable. Where she gets into this fit and she rolls her eyes back in her face, and you just see this anger and this madness inside of her. And so we talked to her about it, and she says, in her words to us last night, we've seen this get progressively a little bit worse over the past few weeks even. And recently she just yesterday said, it's impossible for me to control my anger. Like, I get so angry, so mad, it's impossible. And she gets mad and says, it's impossible. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever faced something like that or had a child that's like that specifically. But it got me thinking, like, how do I help my child that's facing this thing? Like, are there things in my life that I have thought were impossible, that seemed impossible for me to do, and how did I overcome it? And so things in my life that have been in over possibility have been poor choices, poor habits that I've made. This one, oh, now you're making me give away who it is. She is 8 years old. But at this point, I specifically thought to what helped me overcome what seemed impossible to me. And so what was impossible to me, I was able to overcome with the help of God, through the help of a church leader, through the help of inspired words of prophets, let's say, of scripture. And so I went directly to YouTube and watched some inspired. I just searched anger and searched prophet speeches. And so I listened to one on anger, and it was amazing. One of the lessons that I learned through that I've never really thought about, that I've experienced but never really thought about. And I was able to talk with her. I know it hasn't got through to her. It just made her more angry in that moment. But I know she was listening, and know that she was hearing the message. But it's going to take some time to get through to her. And the message, the example that it shared was, have you ever noticed how at your job, maybe you get angry as an adult at home, or maybe you're upset and you blow up or have a temper tantrum as per adult, as is my child. He says, do you ever have those outbreaks at work with your boss? And most likely the answer is no. But we do that at home, so it's something that is a choice. We're choosing to do it at home, and we're choosing not to do it at there. So I asked my daughter, do you do this? Do you get so angry and so mad like this where you say you can't control it? Do you do this at school? And she said she doesn't. And so I helped her understand this is a choice you're making at home, is to feel this anger like it's something that seems impossible, but you choose to at home. And Jenny, I see that. My 10-year-old is in martial arts, and this daughter was in martial arts as well, and she quit early on, a few weeks in. So that's a good option that we might be able to look at again. But as we were talking with her, it's funny, my wife went down later and she's like, Dad talked to me about choices, and he made me get under my covers for bed, and I wanted to lay on top of my covers. So Gabby came upstairs, and we were talking about how do we help her? What's the way that we help her? And my wife had some amazing advice, and she said through our example, she has to see us, the way we respond to each other, the way we respond to other children when they do something that we don't like. She has to see us not respond in anger, because she has to see and emulate, like she loves us, like the other children love us. So she's going to emulate the activities she sees, and maybe she's emulating an anger or the ability to snap or get mad easily within other children in the family or with her alone. So the best way for us to help her is to do that. So I was incredibly inspired by that message. We listened to it, a message by Gordon B. Hinckley on anger on YouTube, as well as by another apostle, I can't remember his name. But that helped us. It helped us really realize that, you know, you want to help change somebody else, you have to change yourself. You have to watch the way that you act, the message that you're sending out. So Gabby and I ordered a book. I don't remember what the book is called, but it's something about what message are you really sending your children. So it's going to be important for us to be able to help her or any of our other kids that have an anger issue or something they feel like it seems impossible, that we really watch through our actions, through our words, through our facial expressions, that what message are we really sending to our child. So as I think about that, my job and role and mission in life and my career is helping people as a Beachbody coach. So I'm like, okay, now how can I apply this to myself, to my child? How can I help somebody else? So I hope some of that advice helps you guys. The words that I searched to find the YouTube video that taught me that example was Mormon messages, anger. And those popped up some videos that were really helping to me. So I thought about how can I help myself? How can I help my team? How can I help my challengers? And it comes down to what my specific actions, my beliefs, what I'm doing, the way I'm saying things, the way I'm reacting to certain situations. And that's how the team or my prospects or my challengers are going to react as well. So it's important, if you are a leader in your business, in your company, in your job, you own your own business, that if you want to help somebody else change, you have to make sure that you are doing that activity, doing that behavior that you want to be emulated within your team, within your organization. So with that being said, we did a cool activity, and this comes from the book called the Book of Mormon. It's ancient prophets from South America, from Central America, that teach the exact same teachings as the Bible teaches. And there was this really cool story about the 2,000 stripling warriors, and I'm going to share this because we did this activity as a family last night. They made a covenant, which is a promise, with God that they would never take up arms. They had gone to battle so many times and killed people, and they took a covenant oath with God. They would never take up arms against their enemies. Because it was destroying them. So what they did is they all made this promise, and they buried their weapons deep inside the earth. All of them together made this promise they'll never take up arms. Now, they suffered some deep consequences. I'm kind of going off track here, but this is something we did with our children last night. Is they, at that point, made this promise, and they suffered because of it. There was pain and suffering because the enemies came against them, and the enemies killed many of the men. And the women were left with the children. And so the women were left to raise these children and to help these children become strong, God-fearing men. And the thing is the cool thing, I'm getting the chills thinking about this, is these young men were raised by these mothers. And so that helps you guys helps me understand the role of a mother in the home. But these young men grew up to be strong men. And these 2,000 young men, they call them the stripling warriors, the enemies came against them. And these young men, who were more than doubled in number, and stronger men, their fathers and grandfathers had fought and lost against these men. These 2,000 young men defeated the enemies that came against them because their grandfathers, their fathers made promises, covenants with God that they would not take up arms against their enemy. And so God blessed these young men and helped them win and protect their people at this point. So we did this activity. So that was kind of a background of this activity. We did this activity with our children where we cut out these little swords out of paper, and we each wrote on there one thing that was holding us back from being happy. And so Mila, for example, in this instance, she did not want to write hers down, and that's okay. We didn't force her to do it because she has a choice. But the rest of us wrote down ours, and mine was bad thoughts. So I wrote down bad thoughts, and I spoke with Gabby more in person of what those actually were in detail. But for my kids, I don't feel they need to know the details of that at this point. But I wrote down mine, Gabby wrote down hers, Hina wrote down hers, Ellie wrote down hers, and little Poppy wrote down theirs. And we made the activity of, we were supposed to bury these papers, our swords, our weapons, with this thing that was holding us back from being happy, into the earth. So there's snow and the earth is frozen, so we took these little swords that we cut out and we tossed them into the toilet and we flushed them. So we made a covenant, a promise to each other as a family that we would bury these weapons that were holding us back from being happy. Some of them, just to name them, were anger, getting mad easily. Some of them were teasing. Some of them were having bad thoughts or seeing bad things on television or on movies or on the internet. And so we buried these weapons, knowing that God, if we bury these weapons and we work together with faith, that God will help bless and protect our families. So that is what we're working on. That's something we're doing with that we did with our kids. So it'll be a continual process now of talking about that, helping them, reminding them of that promise that they made. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm challenging you guys right now. I'm going to challenge you guys. We're going to call it #bury your weapon. And I want you guys to comment below if you're comfortable enough and want some accountability. I want you guys to think about something that's holding you back from being happy, whether it's anger, not forgiving somebody of something that's happened, your own bad habit, some wrong choices that you've made. I want you guys to write that down on a sword, a little paper sword or something, and go bury it outside with a promise to yourself that you are going to bury that. And know that God is going to help you overcome that and help you become a better person. And that's what we're doing to help our child. I know you guys struggle with the same things we struggle with. I want to let you guys know that's what we're going through. And it's hard. It's really hard. But I want you guys to know that together, with the help of God, help of each other, we can help each other through this life. We can help each other become better. We can help each other become better parents, better fathers, better mothers, and better people. No more self-sabotaging. #bury your weapon. I love you guys. Have an incredible Tuesday, and let's go out and change some lives. See you guys later.